The Super Mario Galaxy movie was the first big event movie of 2026 when it came to its scale, in addition to marketing and hype. And that's coming from someone who is not a hardcore Nintendo or Mario junkie, but obviously knows the basics of the franchise and characters. It might be why I wasn't blindly loyal to the first film. It was amazing to look at, definitely had some moments of real fun, but I think it was lacking in any worthwhile character development and by extension meaningful story. Besides its technical precision, just wasn't anything to really care about when it came to it as a film, which I can blame Illumination for that with their typical low effort kind of work. But I was very excited for the experience of the sequel. I thought the trailers looked great. It was one of the kind of movies that makes for a great opening night experience where all the fans are dressing up, the free posters, the cute popcorn buckets. You're just ready for a nice time. I tried to avoid any Rotten Tomatoes scores or review headlines, although I sorta got wind that this film wasn't exactly getting critical acclaim. I saw this movie on opening Wednesday night at 7:30 in IMAX and was naturally a packed auditorium. In the Super Mario Galaxy movie, Mario and friends go on a cosmic quest to save Princess Rosalina from Bowser's son. It'd be really hard to have another movie that character-wise was as bad as the first film. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is an improvement in that area, mainly because it'd be tough to be any worse. But there was some genuine writing that was an improvement. Things just felt better this time around. There was some writing for Bowser that was way better than anything from the first film, that actually required a little bit of effort. I also liked your intros to your main new characters we see here. I think Bowser Jr. presented himself as a decent threat. The introduction of Princess Rosalina was awesome, although unfortunately she doesn't get that much to actually do in the film. But Yoshi was an absolute scene stealer for his initial scenes. The audience was just loving that little guy. Although having Donald Glover as the voice was just the most shameless celebrity voice casting you'll ever see, it's beyond f***ing pointless given the voice alteration, and there's everything wrong with celebrity voice casting in animated movies these days. As this film's story doesn't have to deal with introducing the audience to this fantastical new world, or more importantly wasting time in the normal world, this time we just get to be thrust into a new adventure. But it doesn't feel rushed because it naturally fits the kind of story and dynamics you want to see from a Mario film and adventure. And that trio of Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi was a lot of fun. Without a doubt, the best thing this film has going for it is its visuals. Like the first film, it just looks spectacular in all aspects. The rendering quality, the movement in combination with the perfect capturing of the world of Mario makes every frame of this film just look wonderful. You just can't take your eyes off this movie, and that goes double for when the action occurs. It's a lot of hand-to-hand Smash Brothers type action all throughout this film, and all of it was great. I thought it was a nice step up from the first film's solid action scenes. There are also some highlight scenes that capture the traditional Mario-style gameplay in very charming and enjoyable fashion. Probably the easiest improvement there was to make here was just allowing that beautiful Mario-themed orchestra to play and do its thing, and off with those stupid needle drop pop song moments. There's thankfully nothing that's the equivalent of that Take On Me scene in the first film, nor does the movie ever reach the levels of stupidity as that dog in the bathroom scene. These improvements naturally did work in this film's favor, but I feel as if this movie was still missing something character-wise as it continued. While it showed some seeds of something worthwhile for a few characters and led to some decent moments, as it progresses, it starts to lean more in the direction of style as opposed to substance. Now, the style was all kinds of sensational, but besides some good moments between Bowser and his son, there's really not much outside of that. The initial portion of the movie seemed like it was going to lean in the direction of tackling on Mario's affinity for Peach, but by the time you get to the end, you realize, well, there wasn't really anything worthwhile here for that, and by extension, not a strong enough story for Mario himself, besides him doing some admittedly pretty awesome video game type action. Rosalina's role was a bit disappointing. I liked her intro and her story tie-ins to Peach. That was a well done scene. But as far as what she does in the actual movie, not a ton. Very disappointing based on the tease we saw in that first trailer. was a bit of a waste having Brie Larson as the voice. She doesn't have near the time to shine as Anya Taylor-Joy did for Peach in the first film or this movie. I found Bowser's story arc to be very puzzling. It teases some great development and intrigue in terms of how it's going to play out in terms of his relationship with all the other characters. Well, whatever writing they were seemingly cooking up initially just went out the window in that third act, which made me question, well, what the was even the point of all that stuff beforehand? This time around, I think you can definitely hear Jack Black's voice more, and I mean in terms of Bowser sounding like Jack Black. But even if this movie had its issues, I liked watching it, and I mean actually watching it when it came to the visuals and action. It was also genuinely funny. It had a real fun factor to it and a good amount of surprises that will definitely get some reactions of a fan-filled audience. One of the surprises was ruined in the promotions last week, but I thought it was a fun character inclusion that was worked naturally into the film in mostly solid fashion. It made for a fun experience. I just wish the ending section of the film could have had a bit more to it character-wise. I was left with a semi-empty-ish feeling because the movie wasn't trying to do anything that would leave that kind of impact. Definitely, I think, better than the first film, so I'll step it up from the meh score I gave that original movie to where this movie I'll say it was in between I liked it and meh. I was consistently liking it more than the first film, and at least for me, I don't think it got flat out terrible as some of the early buzz was indicating. It's why I desperately wish I could go into movies fresh, as far as not hearing any of the buzz or the goddamn Rotten Tomatoes score. But everyone's big mouth on social medias are always eager to share how potentially bad a film is. It's definitely a film I think that's more suited for the fans than just being a good movie for everyone. But I don't know, I think it's better than the first film, so I think it can be enjoyed in better fashion by all those who aren't Mario junkies. And yes, there's obviously more to see once the credits roll. The mid-credits scene was okay, but your end credit scene is a nice showcase of the direction and focus of the inevitable third film, which will obviously happen as this franchise is seemingly one of the few critic-proof franchises currently still going. You definitely wish they could make films that are genuinely good instead of settling for fun and moments, but you know, that's Illumination for you. So that'll do it for this review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.